Today, I'm going to talk about the importance of hormone balance and weight management because hormones have a lot to do with our weight. And that's why it's such a big, important topic to not just focus on, going on Ozempic and other skinny medication without actually addressing the root cause, which very often is the hormone imbalance. So, introduction. So, my name is Martina Erskine. I'm board certified nurse practitioner. I specialize in metabolic, functional, regenerative, and anti aging medicine. And I've been with Joy Wellness Partners for over 6 years, practicing functional, regenerative medicine. I also have a background in ICU, intensive care unit. I'm also diving into Chinese and naturopathic medicine. So, I like to connect the dots between Western and Eastern medicine. So, what is weight loss? So, conventional approach to weight loss is still focusing on calories in and calories out. And like we know, calories has nothing to do with actually gaining or losing weight. It's just very like old approach to weight loss. So, functional medicine focusing on understanding the metabolic factors that contribute to weight gain, how critical they are in treating overweight and obese patients. So, what is the connection between hormones and then weight loss? So, hormones can play a very critical role in weight management because they regulate our metabolism. They also can regulate our appetite and fat storage. For example, insulin can control blood sugar. So, more blood sugar it's put inside the cells, the better the cells use it for energy, and less it's used to build the fat tissue. The same it's with insulin also tells us where glucose goes if it comes to fat storage, so can determine where's the fat stored. So it can lead to fat storage, the same like thyroid hormones. So very low thyroid, called hypothyroidism, can lead to everything slow metabolism, weight gain, always feeling cold, always being slow, low energy, gaining weight. But hyperthyroidism, high thyroid hormone, it's opposite, makes you skinny, jittery, fast metabolism, but very, very stressed too. And another hormones like cortisol, cortisol affects where the fat is stored. So, for example, high cortisol makes you gain weight in your face, mostly in your belly. And cortisol breaks down glucose in our body. So then the glucose, it's used for energy to run away from stress. However, if we don't necessarily run away from stress, the glucose goes back to fat tissue and makes us fat. So that's how cortisol, for example, affects how we gain weight. And of course, reproductive hormones like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, we'll talk about it. They tell our body where to put fat. For example, estrogen tells you, okay, put fat around the hips and then thighs. While lack of testosterone can make you gain visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. So a couple obesity fun facts. So America spent the most money on the weight loss. It's 66 billion annually, $1 million for the weight loss, and 97 million Americans are on diet all the time. So most of us are constantly on a diet, and only 5% of people that did lose weight are successfully maintaining that weight for at least 2 years. So everybody who loses weight gains that weight back. So it's really like a vicious cycle. So a couple fun facts. As of 2022, all of the 50 states had obesity rate over 20%. I heard it's like 25, even 30, but at least more than 20. 75% increase in type 2 diabetes since 1990. 70% of cardiovascular diseases are actually related to obesity, and 80% of type 1 diabetes is associated with obesity. So when you're obese, you have diabetes. When you have diabetes, you have high glucose. Also, cardiovascular health goes down because 80% of diabetic die from heart attacks, not from any other, related conditions to diabetes. So, what is hormone imbalance? So, basically, when there's too much or too little of certain hormones in the bloodstream or in the cells. So, functional medicine perspective looks trying to combine all the factors why people have like hormone imbalance. So, including metabolism, what we eat can affect hormones, diet, exercise, stress management. All those daily activities can affect our hormone levels. So, key signs of hormone imbalance, of course, number one, fatigue, when it's like persistent tiredness, lack of energy. Also, weight changes when people have hormone imbalances. They very often are too skinny, they cannot gain weight, or they're too obese, they cannot lose weight because hormones slow down your metabolism. Also, irritability, anxiety, depression, for example, very low estrogen mimics depression. Disrupts sleep patterns, so insomnia and poor sleep quality, brain fogs, low sex drive, acne and stretch marks that's usually due to cortisol or DHT, and of course, temperature regulation issues like hot flashes and infertility issues. So, key hormones that affect weight and metabolism. So, we will talk today about mostly insulin and sex hormones, but we also address in our clinic cortisol and thyroid hormones all the time for all the patients. Every time they come, we check all comprehensive thyroid panel with all the thyroid hormones. But today we'll focus on insulin and sex hormones. So, cortisol affects our weight because cortisol makes, like I said, breaks down glucose in your body. So, you can run away from stressors, so you can address the stress, you can have more energy. However, that energy is never used inside the cells, it's usually fluctuating that glucose in your blood and goes to liver, gets converted to triglyceride, and there it goes to abdomen and it's converted into fat, and then causes also fatty liver disease. So chronic stress can lead to increased abdominal fat storage and increases your appetite. More stressed out we are, more we crave food because cortisol lower your leptin hormone that is responsible for make you feel full and not eating. Tells your brain to like stop eating, we good, and can increase your ghrelin receptors that does opposite, send signals from your stomach to your brain and tells your brain to eat more because we need more food. So cortisol is really, really big factor if it comes to weight gain. We address that with stellate ganglion blocks, with adaptogens. We have different treatments for high cortisol and adrenal fatigue. Thyroid hormones, the same. Thyroid controls your metabolism and energy production. So it's all about metabolism. So, like I said, hypothyroidism, low thyroid, everything slow, weight gain, slow metabolism, low energy. Hyperthyroidism, too much weight loss, too much jitterness, and tissue breakdown. And insulin regulates blood sugar. It's produced in the pancreas when there's too much glucose. So when we eat too much glucose, insulin is produced. Take that glucose, put inside the cells for energy, and the cells can use that. However, if there is we eat too much glucose, it leads to insulin resistance. So the cells don't recognize insulin anymore, and they don't use that glucose, and that glucose fluctuates in your blood and goes get converted to fat tissue. Sorry, guys, my cat is so cleany. So, and then sex hormones like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, of course, affects how much weight we gain, but also affects our metabolic rates and fat distribution. If it's more in the belly or it's more in the thighs, and then butt around that area, like for females. And also very low testosterone leads to muscle loss. So less muscles we have, then slower we metabolize any substances in our body, less this insulin receptors we have. So if you gain muscles, you end up having more receptors for glucose. So insulin goes, grab that glucose and put in the muscles and makes muscles bigger. So having good muscle mass, it's really good for weight loss. And then what are the root causes of hormone imbalances in functional medicine? So number one, of course, hormone decline due to aging. By the age of 30, we have levels of testosterone very, very low. And then that really affects, the muscle mass and the muscle to fat ratio. And then by the age of 40 and 50, that's when the progesterone and estrogen dropped and affecting the metabolism even more. Chronic stress, like I said, elevated cortisol disrupts insulin and sex hormone balance, and diet, of course, if we eat too much sugars and processed food, that affects our insulin and fat storage as well. Toxins are really, really big, which we very often don't realize. We do address that as well. We do total toxicity panel, where we check all your mycotoxins, which are the toxins from like mold, and we check all your heavy metals, and we also check your environmental toxins, and they can be very often reasons why you're not losing your weight. So for example, I will have a patient that cannot lose weight and she eats healthy, she works out every day, and we check her toxins, and she had a very high levels of certain pesticides in her body that it's used to spray grass on the golf courses. And then she lives right now on a golf course, and she also runs on a golf course. So she's been breathing that toxin every single day, and that prevents her losing weight, and also, cause brain fog and energy issues. So toxins are big here. We're not going to talk too much about toxins today, but we do total toxicity panel when we check what toxins you have high in your body. Of course, sleep deprivation, when you sleep is compromised, you produce more cortisol, which is stress hormone, less melatonin. And that also leads to weight gain, especially around the belly. And underlying conditions will be like Hashimoto, like autoimmune conditions, or PCOS. And they can lead to weight gain too. So why hormone balance matter? Because hormones regulate everything in our body, like energy. They regulate how well we metabolize things, how good we are in sports. They're responsible for athleticism. They tell body like when to burn calories, how to store fat. They basically are like those emails between cells. So from brain to cells, cells to brain, those emails are sent to tell exactly, okay, you have to do this, this, and that. So those are the messengers that tell your body how to do any single process. And then, of course, good hormone levels can increase muscle mass, and which boosts metabolism and all of that. So, what are the tools and strategies for success? So, how can we balance the hormones and fix that obesity issues? So, number one things, my favorite is of course hormone replacement therapy. Hormones are everything because they affect everything in our body. So, there's two, HRT and TRT. HRT stands for hormone replacement therapy. So it's basically replacing testosterone, progesterone, estrogen for women, typically for women. And TRT, it's testosterone replacement therapy, typically used for men, but also it's beneficial for premenopausal women that have a good levels of estrogen, progesterone. All they need is the testosterone because it's the first one that declines by the age of 30. And what are the delivery methods of hormone replacement therapy? So pellets are really good. They're bioidentical, they're long lasting, they give you consistent hormone delivery. Creams are also amazing. They're bioidentical as well. They need to be applied topically every single day for steady absorption. So it's not for everybody. They're a little bit more gentle than pellets. And injections gives you really rapid effects. So you feel it right away after injecting that your hormones goes up, and allows for precise dosing. So some people prefer injections, however, they're not bioidentical. Next slide. So how hormones affect weight management. So testosterone, imagine like this athletic, strong, very, very goal-getter woman. She have like good muscle protein synthesis, more muscle mass, less fat, because testosterone regulates that ratio of fat to muscle, which is very important. Reduces fat accumulation because promote fat oxidation. And then it can actually decrease visceral fat, which is the fat around the belly. So testosterone can help to decrease that fat around the belly. That's why when you see in elderly people that age, women have like, usually their whole life, they have like bigger hips and buttocks and thighs, and then they go through menopause, and all of a sudden they start gaining weight around the belly. It's because they're losing testosterone and estrogen, and low testosterone and low estrogen makes you gain visceral fat, which is fat around a belly. Estrogen, the same. It regulates fat storage and distribution. So when you have very, very high estrogen, you end up having more that subcutaneous fat storage around hips, thighs, and buttocks. However, lower rates of estrogen increase visceral fat. Also, estrogen have a huge impact on insulin sensitivity. So low levels can impair glucose metabolism. And Estrogen also impacts appetite because interact with that leptin hormone, and leptin hormone signals to the brain that we are full and tells your brain to stop eating. So estrogen actually increases leptin. So when estrogen goes down, we end up feeling more hungry. And progesterone, it can help you lose weight because promotes sleep. It basically works on the GABA receptors in your brain, which are responsible for calmness, relaxation, and progesterone is very anti-inflammatory. Also, very low progesterone leads to like fluid retention and bloating. So it's very important to stabilize that hormone as well, and works synergistically with estrogen to increase metabolic rates. So estrogen and progesterone always go hand in hand. So what are the expected results when you replace all three of those hormones? So when you replace your testosterone, you end up having more muscle mass, a faster metabolism. You will see more reduced fat around the belly, that visceral fat around your organs, and then improve body composition. So it's easier to gain muscle and burn fat. And also you'll feel like way more energized and you'll have way better libido on testosterone. Estrogen, however, will improve your insulin sensitivity, will reduce your fat accumulation, and there will be the redistribution of the fat. So it will be more subcutaneous fat, which surprisingly, subcutaneous fat, the one right under the skin that we usually have on our thighs and butts, it's way healthier fat than the one deep there inside the organs. So estrogen basically modulates that, and it's natural antidepressant, stabilize your mood and can reduce hot flashes for women. And progesterone, when people go on progesterone replacement therapy, they sleep better, they are more resilient to stress, they have less fluid retention, bloating, more stable weight, and it's of course always a good partner to estrogen. So, low testosterone. So, interestingly, obesity, like moderate obesity, decreases total testosterone because cause insulin resistance, and that reduces sex hormone binding globulin. However, more severe obesity, it's associated with reduction in free testosterone levels. So when you're severely obese, you have like low total testosterone, low free testosterone. Basically, everything is low. Also, moreover, low testosterone is related to sarcopenia. Makes sense. Testosterone increases muscle mass. Sarcopenia, it's muscle wasting. There's even a definition right now, something called obese sarcopenia or something like that, when people are very, very obese and have extremely low muscle mass. It's actual thing. And also, a low testosterone leads to increased adiposity, which is formation of fat tissue. So, what are the weight loss peptides? So, we talk about hormones. So, now let's talk about something that everybody wants to talk about, which is the GLP-1 peptides like semaglutide, Terzepatide, and Retatrutide. So, those mimic GLP-1 hormone, that is glucagon like peptide 1 hormone, that naturally is present in our body. And that hormone, what it does, first of all, slows down stomach emptying, so makes you feel fuller for longer. Also sends signal to your brain that you full, so decreases appetite. Make you produce more insulin, and more insulin you have good quality insulin, more that insulin grabs glucose and put inside the cells for energy. So when those medication mimic that GLP-1, makes it basically increase all those things. Perfect. So, how hormones affect weight management? So, semaglutide, for example, it's the first that was FDA approved for chronic weight management. That one basically targets GLP-1 receptors and enhance metabolic rates, and can also have benefit effect on your cardiovascular health. So, it's really important because obese people usually die from cardiovascular conditions. Terzepatide has a dual action, not only works on GLP-1, but also works on GIP receptors and enhance metabolic benefits, and has like better results than semaglutide because it has a dual mechanism of action. Also, it can improve your lipid profiles, and lipid profiles, like we know, high cholesterol can increase your atherosclerosis, and then it can increase cardiovascular risks. And retatrutide, it's still under investigation, has a triple receptor agonist targeting, so targets three different receptors: GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon receptors. So sounds like it should work better, but it's still under investigation. Right now, it doesn't show too much of the weight loss yet so far. So it's usually added to semaglutide or terzepatide for the people that are really resistant to those two and they're still not losing weight. We can always add retatrutide. And what happens if you go on semaglutide, tirzepatide, or those GLP-1s, but your hormones are not optimized, like sex hormones? Well, it can be very, very risky because you might lose a lot of weight, but 20 to 30% of that weight will be muscle mass. So if you will lose a lot of muscle mass without gaining it, so if you go on GLP-1s without focusing on muscle growth, like doing heavy weights, doing testosterone replacement therapy, estrogen, progesterone, then you end up lowering your metabolism, which then you will gain that weight quickly back when you stop those medication. Also, it can decline this neuromuscular function, so the connection between neurons to muscles can cause a lot of fatigue and emotional effects and poor day-to-day performance issue, and even increased risk of injuries because, of course, less muscles you have, weaker the bones. Without testosterone, we have something called osteoporosis, holes in the bones, so you're more prone for injuries when you just focusing on a weight loss without muscle gain. That's why it's always good to do combination therapy. What are some peptides for longevity, wellness, and weight loss outside of GLP-1s? Well, there's many other ones that are good for anti-aging, boosting energy, enhancing recovery, endurance, all of that, like growth hormone-releasing peptides, my favorites. And also there are different ones like anti-aging one, like NAD, MOTS-C. We talk about them now. So number one, NAD. NAD is precursor to ATP, which is energy molecule. So by boosting ATP, it boosts your metabolic rates, boosts your detox, helps to repair your DNA. NAD makes those telomeres longer, which is caps on the top of your DNA that protects your DNA from degrading. So that's how NAD can help with the weight loss, boost your metabolism, reduce inflammation, and improve mitochondrial function. MOTS-C, it's a mitochondria-derived peptide, improves your mitochondrial health. So that's how it can promote fat loss and enhance insulin sensitivity and can support the exercise and performance and recovery. And there's also 5-amino 1-MQ. That one has a little bit side effects. It's oral. The other ones are injectable. That one is oral, blocks fat accumulation at the cellular levels, encourage muscle building and weight loss, and improves metabolic rates as well. However, that one, some people feel a little bit sick and weak on it. Not everybody, but some people have side effects. And AOD 9604 is also injectable peptide. That one it's mostly for bone and cartilage recovery, but also fat loss because helps to your body break down fat tissue, stimulate lipolysis, which is fat cells breakdown without affecting your blood sugar levels. So it can be really good for diabetic and inhibits lipogenesis, which is formation of new fat cells. So this way you can reduce your body fat while preserving lean muscle mass. And growth hormone-releasing peptides, we have so many growth hormone-releasing peptides. They all have like kind of similar mechanism of action. They go to your pituitary gland and basically make your pituitary gland produce more growth hormones, which then go to the muscles, get converted to IGF-1, and that's how it promotes muscle growth and fat burning. So we have CGC 1295, ipamorelin, sermorelin, tesamorelin, IGF-1, LR3. So 5 of those. I would say first 4 are working more on the brain to stimulate growth hormones. Ipamorelin actually stimulates ghrelin receptors, but without affecting your hunger or affecting your cortisol. And IGF-1 LR3 works more on your muscles directly, not on your pituitary gland. And they all have similar mechanism of action. I would say CGC ipamorelin combinations are giving you the best results because CGC ipamorelin together they can boost fat breakdown, Also, CJC, it's thermogenic, so helps with fat burning, and ipamorelin reduces appetite, so you don't feel like eating too much, which is very often cause for weight gain, overeating. And they both like improve your recovery from exercise. So my favorite combo is those two. Sermorelin, it's great, can increase your muscle mass and then reduce fat. Testosterone apparently focuses mostly on reducing abdominal fat, so it can be good for people with very high visceral fat, but you have to be on it for some time. You can see improvement. And IGF-1 LR3 promotes muscle growth by increasing the protein synthesis right on the muscle and right on the fat cells. So it works directly on those cells. And some of the patient success stories. So, of course, I changed the names. We have a patient, John, 52 years old. He came, he was complaining of low energy and he was overweight or obese, I would say, even, and he lost 30 pounds and regained all his muscle definition because he went on testosterone replacement therapy and he mixed it with some IGF-1 peptides like the CJC ipamorelin, and so they helped him lose more weight, gain more muscle, and more muscles you have, more energized you feel, faster metabolism. You can even eat more and not gaining so much weight. So Emily, for example, 48 years old, she lost 15 pounds. And improve her mood, libido, and sleep because she went on testosterone replacement therapy. She was in her 40s. So I gave her testosterone, I gave her progesterone because her estrogen was still good. So we replaced those two hormones and she went on Terzepatide because I always like to pair hormone replacement therapy with GLP-1s. And she lost 15 pounds, so really cool story. And Michael, 6 years old, he was mostly focusing on losing fat around the belly and I want to like have a better workout endurance. So I put him on NAD. He injects that every morning to have more energy. And I put him on CJC pamorelin. So he feels like he's gaining more muscles, burning more fat. He feels like he's gaining more from his workouts. And Mary and Tom couple, they came together. They have really, low energy, very low sex drive. So I put both of them on hormone replacement therapy. Mary's on all three: testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. Tom was put on testosterone replacement therapy, and they both use NAD for the longevity anti-aging component. So when you inject NAD every morning, it's not only anti-aging but gives you a little bit of that energy. So really cool success stories. And so how all of those therapies work together, they really, really amplify each other's effect because hormones like testosterone will boost your metabolism and GLP-1 at the same time will reduce your cravings and improve fat burning. So it's perfect combo together. The same, it's like muscle growth. Testosterone will increase protein synthesis and the growth hormone will increase your muscle mass, while GLP-1s will decrease fat. So work perfectly together. And also some hormones will give you more stamina and energy, like NAD will keep you very active, more motivated, and then really it's good combination with the hormone replacement therapy. So, because it's New Year and we want you to feel good and back to normal, so take action for your health right now. We have this special offer for all our new patients: blood work that tests all your hormones, including sex hormones, thyroid hormones, your diabetes markers, kidney, liver enzymes. That whole panel is for $299 for new patients, not existing, by new patients. So if you know anybody who is not a patient with us yet, send them our way. $299 for all the testing and a consultation. It's included. Actually, two consultations are included. First, you get initial consultation. We gather some information about you. We see how we can work together to make you feel better. And then we run your panels. And then a week later, we go over all your testing and we see how can we help you and what will be the best approach specifically for you. So that's a special deal for January. So don't wait to balance your hormones and manage your weight. I like to start hormones earlier, sooner than later, because some things in our body declines because of lack of hormones, and it's hard to reverse them if you go on hormones too late. So better too soon than too late, and do it like nice optimal dosing. So this is our information. If you want to work with us, this is our phone number. We have a website, www.joywellnesspartners.com. We are located in Mission Valley, San Diego, California, and that's our main email. Best is to call, to schedule your free consultation. The first consultation is free to see if we even can help you and meet your goals. So if you guys have any question, you can ask them in the first consultation. Don't hesitate to call us. Check our website, check our YouTube channel with all the reviews, patients' reviews and testimonials. And hopefully I will see you soon in a clinic.
Thanks for watching. I'm Carol Joy Bender, the founder and nurse practitioner at Joy Wellness Partners. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe also to our channel and share this video with someone who you think could benefit from it. You can also learn more information about these services by clicking our link in the description below. You can also leave a comment to let us know what content you'd like us to put out next week. Thank you so much for being a part of our community, and stay along with us for enhancing wellness in our world. See you next week.